Amy here with Leap of Faith Crafting. So in this design space tutorial, we are going to be talking about how to use the draw, the right function, things like that when you want to make tags, when you want to use any of your Cricut pens, markers, things like that. Lots of different ways to use it. So I'm just going to kind of show you quickly just kind of the basics of it. So let's say, actually, let's add a phrase in here that's already here. Okay, something like this. Okay, so say we want to draw this on a card. So I'm going to insert actually a shape, kind of the size of a card that I want to do. That's the one thing with the drawing function. It needs to be on a background. So you need to use it on invitations, tags, things like that, that it can write on something. That, and we are going to move this to the back. So this is in front. Okay, so say I want something like this. So right now that this is you can see up under operation, that is a basic cut. We want to turn it into a pen. So if I click on the drop down, you'll see I can go to pen. And the same thing really works for foil too. It's the same way you would use foil, but we are going to use the pen. And the one thing with the pen is it only actually does single line designs and fonts and things like that. So that's why it will only do the outline of images. Let me just turn this a different color so we can see it a little bit better. Okay, so you see it only does the outlines of things if you're converting an image or something into the right. But how you would go up and change your pen. So right now it's a pen. And you'll see that this is the black square. If you click on it, you can come up into this drop down menu and change it to the type of pen you're going to use. So say you're going to use a gel pen, and then it actually gives you the different colors. So this helps you visualize what it will look like, but it also will let Design Space tell you exactly which pen to load when you go to actually make it. The Cricut can't read the color of your pen, so if you want to switch it out last minute, it's no big deal. You can put any pen you want in there, but it's a way, especially if you're using multiple colors, for Design Space to pause and tell you to insert different pens and things like that. But like I said, you can switch it out at last minute anytime. It does not matter the actual pen that you put in to put in your clamp once you start doing stuff. Okay, so once you have this, if you want it on something like this and then want it to cut out, we need to actually attach this. So I would select both of these by dragging my cursor over and then click on the attach. And so now you can see that it will write on here and then it will cut out the square. So you can see if I go to make it, that is all together right there. So let's say we want to do something with multiple colors on, say, a tag that we're going to cut out. So I'm just going to go to images. I'm just going to type in tag here. We just want a basic tag. Okay, I'm going to grab my text box. I'm going to say to. Okay, something like that. So you can also come into, this is already set to a writing because I was using it before, but you can come up in here and you can filter the Cricut Access fonts to writing fonts. Again, with fonts, you need a single line font, so there aren't a whole lot of fonts. So it is the fonts in Cricut Access. There's a good amount of them, and I'll link below. I have a paper that lists a whole bunch of them. So if you go into writing, this actually will list all of the writing fonts. And they don't look like this. Once you click on them, you'll see it. Some of them will just do the outlines of letters. Some of them will turn it into that thin line like that. Okay, so say I want this. And since it's all in one text box, I want to actually edit this top part. I'm going to go to Advanced and ungroup to lines. And then I'm going to click on this one and say you want to make everything a different color. So right now the pen of black, I want to change it to, I'm going to use all glitter pens. And this one I'm going to do black. This one I'm going to change it to a glitter gel pen, and we're going to do silver, maybe dark rose. This one, I might use a marker and make it blue. And this one, I might do a fine point raspberry. I'm just kind of giving you examples. So this, when you change all of these within Design Space, now the Cricut will pause after it's written each one of these and tell you to insert the next pen in the color that you chose. So I would grab all of these and attach it. So say I didn't attach it and I went to make it, you'll see that it actually pulls it up onto a different mat, and that's there. So if you ever go to make it and you're like, whoa, what the heck happened? It's usually because you haven't attached something. So go back in and use your cursor to drag over the whole image, the tag, plus all the words, and click on attach. Okay, so now when we go to make it, okay, so now if we go to continue and we were to cut this out, Design Space will tell me exactly which pen to load at every time there. Okay, so I'm going to go back and actually detach this. I just wanted to show you real quick. This also works with foil. So if you wanted to foil something, you can go in and change this to foil, and then you can change the color of the foil. Say we're just going to make them all red. I'm actually just going to click on my layers panel here, hold my shift and click all the way up to and click on all of these, and it will select all of those. And I'm going to change them all to foil at one time. And we're going to do them all in the red. And again, I would attach this. So same thing with the foil. And then Design Space will tell me exactly how to when to put the foil on and things like that. And there's also, if you go into images, if you want images specific for the writing, if you go into browse all images, you can come under operation type and go into the draw only. And it will come up with ones that draw already. So these are ones that won't just do the outside. It will actually draw a lot of this stuff. A lot of these also for the cards, they do cut part of it out too. But you can go through here. I mean, there's 7,000 images to use. Add this in. You can draw him on something. Fun way to make like wrapping paper, different kind of cards, things like that. So that's another way to find them. So just to show you, if you want, like I was talking about the text, it is going to be a thin line. If you want a text that is thicker, a great way to do that is to come and find a free font. And I talked about this in our how to upload fonts. DaFont is one of my go-to ones for personal use fonts. You can come in here and actually type in Sketch. And what Sketch font does is it actually has lots of little lines inside of them. So this actually it takes a long time because it's a pen sketching all of these. But you can see here all these little lines. So, I mean, some of them are just name sketchy, so like this one wouldn't work. But something like this that you see a whole bunch of lines in, you can click on that and click download. That's how I showed you in the other one. I am going to go into open one and install this one. And this is called SketchUp, and I actually am going to have to get out of this and open Cricut back up. So it pulls this font in. Go to new project. Okay, so now when I type in a text, and let's say hello here. To make it bigger so you can see it. So if I went here and just went to a pen, again, it just does the outlines of it. But if I change this, and I'm going to go into my system because that's where it is. And I'm going to type in sketch. So you'll see I have a few different ones because I've done this before. This is the one that I just used. So I'm going to click on that and you'll see now there's tons of little lines in here. So the pen will come in and actually kind of color in all of those lines. So it will just make your font look like a thicker font. But like I said, it will take a long time because that's a lot of little lines in there. So you can see there's a few different ones. I use sketch block. Okay, so things like that. And then I can change the pen if I want to. Okay, so that's just a quick way to do it if you want the thicker fonts, is to find one that on one of the free font sites or the commercial use sites that are the sketch type of font that have all these lines in between. And again, you can use this with the foil or the pen, even the debossing, engraving, things like that. If you want it more of kind of looking like a thicker font, it kind of gives all those little lines in there. Okay, so I hope that helps with kind of the writing, the draw function within Design Space, and make sure you hit that subscribe button below so you don't miss any more of my tutorials coming up, and have a great day.